Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today I've got a game for you that I was recording while testing the Carnot, the Tier 9 French, really not very good battle cruiser, or super cruiser, or whatever you want to call it. The reason I'm bringing this game up is because we're playing center control on Cage, and there are 3 destroyers in the enemy team. There's a Daring, a Somers, and a Jutland. And I haven't been doing an awful lot of damage in this game. The Carnot is not very good at dealing with destroyers, but I've done an awful lot of torpedo dodging. So I figured I'll do a bit of a commentary on it and what my thought process is when it comes to dealing with these kind of scenarios, because you're forced to be inside the capture circle. And the Carnot doesn't have any utility in that regard. She doesn't have a hydro, she doesn't have a radar. And she's got 16-second base reload on the main gun. So let's go. The first thing you need to know, we've got 2 British destroyers. British destroyers can fire single torpedoes. Daring's got 2 quintuple launches. I think Somers got quad launches. So I'm not quite sure about Jutland, but 2 British destroyers can fire single. So how do you defend yourself against torpedoes? Well, first of all, you need to know that torpedoes are coming. And if you don't have a sonar or one of your teammates spotting for you, then you just kind of have to keep an eye on things and know and anticipate what the other players are doing. The second thing that you can use are islands, because torpedoes cannot go through islands. You can also use your teammates on occasion, but islands are preferable because they don't take any damage. So I am going to pick my spot here, and that's where I'm going to stay for most of the game. And that's this little ledge here, because that little ledge has multiple advantages. First of all, it allows me to be inside the capture circle while keeping my left flank clean, because I'm not that easy to hit, and especially my citadel section is... and let me pause that here first, just to explain that a little. My citadel section, if you've watched the my reaction video on the CIC video that did explain this all, so I want my central section not to be exposed. My forward section against battleships, they probably will mostly overpenetrate, but I can use this island to shield myself on the left side. The other thing that's good about this little ledge is its shape, because as you can see, it's sort of shaped almost like a ship hull inverse. So I can get my turrets to fire over it, but it extends down into the water quite nicely, which means that it can also work very well as a torpedo shield, and the upper side of the cliff works pretty well against incoming shell fire. So let's keep going. So I want to be in here, but that's about as far as I want. Now the carrier has spotted the Somers, and I'm lining up some shots here against the Somers, but I am not sitting still. I am moving forwards and backwards, and these have all missed, but it was worth a try. I want to be inside the capture circle to maintain cap control, and there you see incoming shells. They have hit the island hitbox, and they have not hit me. Obviously, I can't get too far out, but now I've got the spotter plane up. I've taken some hits, returning some fire. We know where the Somers is. He's in that smoke screen over there because he came under carrier fire. We haven't seen the Daring and the Jutland yet. Okay, now we've seen the Daring. Stop that again. You can make a guess if you look at the minimap. We know how many destroyers are inside the capture circle. How do we know that? We know that the Somers is not inside this. The Somers is maybe inside the capture circle because he's in the smoke behind that island over there. There is, I believe, in that island there is a chance. No, I think he's outside. The Somers is outside the capture circle because on that island, sorry, it's the island I'm looking at. There's a possibility to be behind that island and be inside the capture circle. But I think the Somers is behind the other island, which is more to the right, which isn't in the capture circle. I am not in the capture circle. My bow section is, but I need to get the midsection of my ship into the capture circle. The Shimakaze is in the capture circle. And the enemy team is capping. We know that the Daring is in the capture circle because we can see her. But capture progress works by whoever has more ships in it. If you have an equal number of ships in the capture circle, capture progress stops. And given that the enemy team is capturing, we know that both the Daring and the Jutland are inside the capture circle. you see we're losing capture progress. Now I am inching forward, and yeah, there are both of them. Now I am in the capture circle, but you see these torpedoes passing by? Yes, that is why I'm never actually moving my nose out of it, because there was a British destroyer and I know what these things do. Now the Yamato, I believe it's the Yamato next to me, probably caught them all, but that's not the point. Now Somers is going into the capture circle. We just keep in mind, even though we can't see them, there's a Daring and a Jutland. Yep, there's the Jutland, and the Daring was there as well. So yep, there's the Daring as well. So I'm going to move out. I'm going to instantly reverse again, because the Jutland is turning away and the Daring is using his smoke to cover his turn. So I'm going to reverse again, taking some shots from my AP shells, but I'm going to go behind, and there comes the torpedo spread. That is, I think it can be either of them. The Jutland is coming back to attack, but it was definitely just one of the destroyers. So there comes a torpedo spread. There comes another one on the right side. That would be the Somers, because both Jutland and Daring on the left. We can't see Daring, but we know that he's on our left. So moving forward, and there comes the second long spread. And this is why I know that the Daring is on the left. This was probably the Daring torpedo set coming in. So he's done the same thing again, but might have hit the battleships on my left, but has not hit me because I knew these were coming. Now Jutland is making another run, is taking some damage here. I'm switching to high explosive and once again backing off, because Jutland has been a while. He might have torpedoes away. Now, no, he's dead because he got Christopher Colombo'd. So we only have Daring and we only have the Daring and the Somers to deal with. Daring is smoking up, shots out, and again just inching my nose out here a little bit. We know the behavior of the Daring by now. He likes firing single file torpedoes. And he might go for a wider spread because he hasn't seen that being particularly effective. Now Daring comes out full broadside and now is turning away. And yep, there come torpedoes. But these are not Daring torpedoes. There are only 4 of them. These are Somers torpedoes. So Daring torpedoes are still incoming. And I think I've taken one there. Yep, there come the Daring torpedoes single file. So he's done the same thing again. Now I'm backing off behind the island because remember what I said initially, that little ledge there does this. Yeah, that's exactly what that ledge does, and that's why I was sitting in that position because once you make your way behind that ledge, you're safe from torpedoes. So Daring's just fired his torpedoes, but Somers is in the smoke screen on the right. So we have to be careful about that Somers on the right. There might be more torpedoes incoming. Right now I can't see any of them, and I don't have any means of making that happen. So I'm just getting back into the capture circle, but just far enough to allow me to give capture progress. Let me pause it again here. We have at this point we have 2 ships in the capture circle, myself and that gearing on the left. The enemy has 2 ships in the capture circle as well. How do I know that? Because we're not capping. If there was only Somers in the capture circle, we know that Somers is in the capture circle because we can see his smoke screen over there. If it was only Somers, we'd be capping. So that Daring is still inside the capture circle. So that's good to know. There's a Monty who's getting behind an island. And at this point, I need to move. There's the Daring. We knew he was there. Okay, Daring is smoking up, so he is definitely going to torpedo me. Now, there come the torpedoes. These are Somers torpedoes. So I should be able to dodge most of these. And that's when you can use your engine boost for emergency acceleration. That has the additional effect that we should be able to dodge the complete spread of the Daring that has fired, that should have fired at this moment as well. There come the Daring torpedoes, and I think some of them have just strafed the island. And that means that Daring should now be out for a second, but Somers might have torpedoes. So I'm going bow in towards the Somers while keeping the island on my left to protect myself both from future Daring torpedoes and somewhat from incoming fire from the battleships. Because I need to give broadside to the battleships to point my nose at the Somers. Now the Montana is about to die, so I can stay inside the capture circle, and I have to be careful about the Somers. Now the Somers was heading to my right initially, but we've now captured, and again this is important because let me pause it again here. We have now captured, which means that the Somers is outside the capture circle. He hasn't gone back into the capture circle because I'm the only one who's in the capture circle, which means Daring has also vacated. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been capping. So Daring is not in the capture circle anymore, and Somers is somewhere ahead of me, and that's why I'm carefully modulating my speed. You see, I moved forward and I moved backwards again. Sorry, I'll pause it once more. I promise this is going to be the last time while the Somers torpedoes are coming in. you have to understand how torpedo aiming indicators work. So a torpedo aiming indicator, you know that white line when you're in a destroyer and you're lining up a shot. The torpedo aiming indicator is predicting where the ship's going to be based on its current speed. So if you are changing your speed and somebody fires at you alongside the predictor line, then the shots will almost certainly be off. So we've got Somers torpedoes coming in from the front. Yep, that's 2 spreads. I'm going to take 2 torpedoes because this is an absolutely massive ship, but I can take that sort of damage. There's a 3rd spread, so Somers is out. But he is in front of me, and there's Daring. Daring has made his way back in the capture circle. Daring has smoked up, immediately slamming her in reverse to dodge the Daring torpedoes. Because remember, the Daring would have sent them ahead of me if he hasn't predicted this move, because that's where the indicator was pointing. Because at the time he launched the torpedoes, I was moving full steam ahead. So just by going in reverse, I can dodge these torpedoes. And this is why the propulsion module is so important, because it allows you to quickly change your speed. And there comes another spread from the Somers, but I knew they were coming from this direction. That's why I'm keeping my nose pointed in that direction. And we have, at the end of the battle, there comes another spread from the Somers, and I can slow down just to and speed up a little bit just to maintain steering control. Now I can point my bow section more towards the Yamato because the Somers is coming around this way. I get another shot off at him, but the Somers can not capture because we are still holding the circle. And yeah, I haven't done an awful lot of damage, but I hope this was somewhat instructional when it comes to my thought process on how to deal with torpedo destroyers and how to avoid torpedoes launched at you from a distance. Obviously, torpedo destroyers can rush you and just fire torpedoes at you from close enough distance that there's not an awful lot you can do about it, especially if you're in something big. But if they are launching from medium distances, and that is a much, much safer thing to do, then just with a little prediction and with a little bit of knowledge about what the enemy ships can do, and observe the behavior of these players and what they like doing, that can often help you to just avoid the torpedoes. And this is what I call situational awareness or battlefield awareness. It's very essential in many situations for many playstyles. So this is a skill that you can generally use for no matter what ship you're playing. It's always important to know where the threat is and how you best avoid it. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.